What is going on, YouTube? I'm your West host, and today we're going to be doing a 55% showcase for this man right here, LR GOGETA Blue. Now, he is probably the unit I'm most excited for coming out for this anniversary. While I do think that Vegito Blue is definitely a bit better, I am so excited for this unit. I mean, his art is just absolutely stunning. His super attacks are stunning. In my opinion, his transformed art is even in a more dynamic pose, and it just looks better. While I like Vegito Blue more in kind of the arc he's in, I think he's definitely the highlight of that arc compared to Gogeta Blue, where I think Broly was the highlight of that arc. I don't know, he's just so aesthetically pleasing that I have to say he's the one I'm much more excited for. Not the one I'm going for first, but definitely the one that I would be more excited to pull. So let's go ahead and hop on in and showcase off my boy. We're going to be doing it on the same team as Vegito Blue because the Last Resort team is one of the best places for them. He is in the second rotation. That's perfectly fine because he's already with his blue counterpart, who's going to share most of the links with him. So that's perfect. What we want. And then we'll go ahead and do this rotation real quick, kind of show off a little bit more of that 55% Vegito Blue, and just kind of bask in their glory and their glow. Wow, 2 million. Okay, that's that's higher than I expected, I'll be honest. Excuse me, I think a lot of people, one, they underrate the pre-transformed forms of these two. I mean, they're still incredible. Putting out 2 million already, and he's doing 2 super attacks right there at 55%. That's awesome. That's just so good. Defensively, he's fine. Not perfect, but definitely not bad. He's awesome. But let's go ahead and talk about the main event. So this Gogeta Blue, because of his link set shared with this Gogeta Blue, he's going to be looking just beautiful. I think this will be an 18 key super attack, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. We'll see. I think he gives himself key. Yeah, he does. Okay, oh my gosh, that's so pretty. I mean, it's like, you want to run this in 1x speed, it's so pretty. There's so much going on that my eyes, you know, I have trouble keeping up at 2x speed with how much and how intricate that super attack is when you double the speed. It's just so good. It's perfect. Anyways, as I was saying, what I think a lot of people see online are these like 79 to 100% showcases of these units, which means people have pulled multiple copies of them, which, given how the anniversary banners are, it's not unreasonable to think that you could pull multiple copies. But after seeing something like the shaft that Truth got on that latest LR banner on the Japanese version of the game, I think people are going to pull maybe 1 or 2 copies of each unit, and probably, you know, I don't think many people are going to rainbow these brand new LRs. Some people aren't going to pull any at all. I'm praying that I'm not one of them, but I might be. There's a very good chance. I'm very hopeful that I'm not, but I'm embracing it if I am. It might happen. Please don't, because I'm going to go pretty hard on these banners, but yeah, it could happen. But anyways, so I think it's important and kind of relevant to see these units at 55%, because that's a percentage that most of us are going to have them at. This Trunks and Mai, by the way, are looking very good, and I think they're only at 55% too. So here's his transformation. It is beautiful. I think the first, like, 2 seconds of the animation where he's just base form Gogeta are a little bit too slender of a frame. But after that, everything about that transformation is just aesthetically beautiful. So we'll go ahead and give him this. This should be his full, yeah, it's his 18 key super attack. His defense is at 72k. Remember, it's going to go up with every attack performed. I think 11 times it goes up by 7%. So, wow, starting at 2.5, super effective against all types. And he's got another additional normal coming after. It's also going to build up his attack and defense. And that is just one of the most beautiful animations I've seen. I mean, look how much damage that did to an AGL type unit. And then here's Vegito Blue's. I will say, I think his profile fits the frame better here, but I think this scene where they do the close-up looks better on Gogeta Blue. I know it's very small, minute differences and kind of nitpicking, but I've looked at these units a lot. They're the most beautiful units in the game, I think. That's easy to say. Their super attacks are the best. Their transformations are obviously the best, except for maybe the active skill on Kaioken, Blue Goku, and Vegeta. So if we take a look here, well, Gogeta Blue had support, and this is only a 12 key from Vegito, and he does get his additional super. So Gogeta Blue can look better in some circumstances, especially with that super effective damage. I mean, his shot did 1.2 mil, whereas the additional super attack from Vegito, while a smaller attack stat, only did 600k, and that's the difference of having super effective against all types versus neutral effectiveness. Now, on the whole, it's probably more beneficial to have multiple super attacks. However, in I think shorter situations, Gogeta Blue can be a lot more beneficial. The only detriment is that he builds up his defense a little bit slower and doesn't get quite as much of a defensive buff from super attacking as that as the Vegito Blue. But we'll take a look here. I don't want to pop his active skill yet. Hopefully you're hearing the audio, which I think you should be. I do have it set to play it, but sometimes it messes up on me. So I'll be very excited to kind of hear what it sounds like when we're able to get it off. I want to do it probably against Tech God Goku. Wow, 2.2. I mean, look at how easy it is to get off these super attacks. This is his 18 key super attack we got off with one STR orb. I mean, that's stupid good. And keep in mind, he's super effective against all types, taking 25 damage on a normal attack. He does, I think, greatly raise his defense on super attack. Maybe it's just regular raise. I'll have to take a look. Unfortunately, I just can't read Japanese. And then there's AGL Gogeta, still looking very good. He's only 69% too, which is really impressive. This one, our Tech Vegito Blue is going to tear through. This isn't really a showcase for him because we've already taken a look at him, but without having STR Gogeta myself, it's kind of an unfortunate byproduct where I have to show off Tech Vegito Blue because I have to bring him to run the team. 3 million with a guaranteed super coming behind. Okay, yeah, these guys can be a little stupid. They're very good, and I mean, running STR Topo on global is probably a little unrealistic in a lot of circumstances because he just isn't that great defensively. However, he's about to get his Easy A on JP, and that's going to come to global in November. So if he gets like a defensive buff, and wow, this Tech Vegito Blue doing really good too. If he gets a defensive buff or damage reduction as a result of his Easy A, I mean, he could be a unit you would run normally. Now, I said I wanted to get his... Whoop, excuse me. I'm going to turn on Do Not Disturb real quick. Sorry about that. Don't want any more my friend's stuff popping up. But these are things that he can do. And if he if Topo gets that buff, sky's the limit to how good they can make him. Hopefully very well, because if he's a unit you can like feasibly run on a last resort team, that's going to be huge because he's one of, if not the only... support type unit on this. And then here's Gogeta at 2.6, super effective against all types. I mean, 1.79, that's a lot of damage. And then 200 damage on a normal attack, or 200k, sorry, that's a lot. We'll see this Gogeta Blue also putting in pretty good work with his guaranteed crits. He's got a built-in 5% chance to do an additional super because of his typing. 1.27, yeah. He's got a 50% chance to dodge, which is really good. Gogeta Blue has that 50% chance in the third slot. And he either gets 2 super attacks, but he's not super effective. There's a weird debuff for Gogeta Blue being in the third slot. It's like a buff and debuff, whereas Vegito Blue only gets a buff being in the third slot. And once again, we're not going to use his active skill because I want to try and use Gogeta Blue's and see, we've been in a fight in these forms for some kind of length of time. It's not super deep. Wow, 2.7. It's not super deep into the fight, but it's getting there. Definitely. Yeah, I mean, 888,000 damage. It's really hard with these two as well because with Gogeta, unlike most units in the game, you're actually looking at the damage he does is a more relevant indicator than his kind of raw attack stat because he's super effective against all types, which is usually the reverse for a lot of units because you want to look at their attack stat to kind of understand that damage differs in situations, but Gogeta Blue is more consistent damage-wise rather than attack-wise due to his super effective modifier. It's kind of a little bit backwards than what we normally think about units. So here's Trunks and Mai at 1.2. Hopefully they take him out, because they're going to get slapped up a little bit. No, they did. They're better than I thought they were. Okay, so now we've got Topo on rotation. Does he get anything extra from Topo? It does not. So we're going to go ahead and use Gogeta Blue's active skill. And this is probably going to be the last turn we use with him, because he's pretty high. Let's check his defense. Yeah, 100k basically. Let's listen to his active skill. Hopefully you can hear it. I really hope you can. I can't, but it is so pretty. I mean, look at... I'll be quiet. And little flick of the wrist. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so good. I love it so much. Oh, that's so good, especially compared to like this animation from the 3rd year anniversary, and this was breathtaking at the time of release. Now it's kind of grainy, but like the ability just to do that and do so much damage, and to do an active skill that's super effective against all types, and just hits like that. I mean, it's stupid and it's so beautiful. It's probably the single most beautiful animation in the game, in my opinion, but also like. What else would compare? I mean, like, realistically, what could be prettier than that? I don't know. So we'll maybe get one more rotation of him just for the hell of it. We'll give Vegito Blue this Dokkan attack. This is gonna hurt because his attack stat, it looks like, is over 3 million right now, if I'm seeing correctly, linked up with his LR self. So yeah, that's 3 million right there, 3.15. So this is gonna do pretty good damage too. It's really fun seeing both of them, because both of them have absolutely beautiful super attacks. I think what's really interesting is that if anyone's been here long enough to remember Mono Dooms, he was a content creator for Dokkan Battle stuff forever ago. Vegito Blue's super attacks and animations and cut-ins remind me a lot of Mono Dooms. It's kind of a dated reference, I understand, so a lot of people might not be familiar. Totally fine. He's a little bit before a lot of people's time, but just know that Mono Doom's really got the style kind of in advance that a lot of people use, which is really cool. So then this Vegito still aging very well. I don't have any dupes in him, unfortunately, on JP. Like all Vegito units, defenses on bosses have gotten so high that you kind of need dupes or some sort of critical equipment on Vegito units to make them look really impressive. They're still great. There's no denying that at 55%, he's still doing better than most other units at 55%. But, yeah, you definitely do want that equipment. So this might be the last turn we do. He's at almost 100k defense. That will be higher after he super attacks. No support on rotation. But let's go ahead and take a look and see what he can do. So, linked up with himself, basically, full health. What's he going to do? So, full 24 key should be, yeah. And then I missed that attack stat, but you saw, I think it was like 3.8, if I'm not mistaken. I could be... I was looking at the wrong place, but yeah, wow. I mean, to an AGL type unit, he did over 1.6 million damage. That's all we need to see. I mean, now we got STRUI Goku. Our team won't survive because Topo can't take any hits against him, unfortunately. What's everybody's defense? Yeah, I mean, whoa, buddy. I know Topo gives a defensive buff, but I didn't expect my 55% Super Vegito to be at 150k defense. Well, we might let this turn play out just so I can see. This is gonna hurt. 200k? 200k? 200. Whoa, that's a lot more than I expected, I'll be honest. But normals aren't doing anything, but then our counters aren't gonna do anything either. Just kind of a result of units being the way they are. Bosses having incredibly high defense. I was surprised to see his defense that high. I did not expect that at all. Vegito Blue is also 4.4. Whoa! Now, to be fair, Super Vegito does give a damage buff when he does his super attacks, but I mean 4.4 and then a 3.1 shot right after that. Hopefully the screen didn't freeze for y'all. It looks like it froze, but I'm not sure. Then it take double digits on normal attacks. Yeah, whoop. Let's see. It looks like my little connection stopped, which is unfortunate. But I apologize for that. Kind of just some technical issues. So we'll go ahead and stop here. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video. I apologize for kind of the strange, abrupt ending. I don't really know what happened there. My my little device just stopped working all of a sudden, so I guess we'll call it. But if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like down below. I am really sorry we kind of cut out a little soon. Obviously, I didn't want that to happen. But like we always say here on the channel, I hope to see you around sometime.